What was Disney's highest grossing film from 1980 to 1989? Hey homies, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Haley. I run the Always in Wonderland blog at alwaysinwonderland.com, and today we're doing Disney through the decades, 1980 to 1989. Per usual, squeaky chair, Will is crazy. Ember's actually at the grandparents' house, so she's thriving. And we are going to jump into this because there are several movies, and I want to try to see if I can keep this short. My ramblings short. Shorter than an hour. That's my goal. Also, I'm going to let you know, I learned something. I thought Touchstone was its own movie entity. You know, like when you're watching something, especially an old movie, and it's like Touchstone. It's not. It's not. It's Disney. The adult version. I know. So, half of these movies are credited to Touchstone because Disney decided they wanted to reach an adult audience, and so you can't put these adult movies under, Disney. You can't just label it Disney. So they created Touchstone. And here I was thinking that Touchstone was its own company that Disney bought out. No, they didn't have to. They already owned it. So, yeah, I learned. So we're gonna jump into this, get it moving, and at the end, we'll go through what was the highest grossing film between 1980 and 1989. So let's dive in. All 10 toes. First movie is called Midnight Madness. A genius grad student organizes an all-night treasure hunt in which 5 rival teams composed of colorful oddballs furiously match wits with one another while trying to locate and decipher various cryptic clues planted ingeniously around Los Angeles. It's giving Harriet the Spy. And I'm here for it. I've never seen this, but if it's anything like Harriet the Spy, clues, figuring it out, creeping on people, I'm here for it. The next movie was The Last Flight of Noah's Ark. An unemployed pilot fleeing debt collectors, do we blame him? Accepts the risky mission of flying an old converted B-29 loaded with farm animals, an attractive young missionary, and 2 young orphan stowaways to an island in the Pacific. The plane crash lands on a small island inhabited by 2 World War II Japanese naval officers who don't know the war is over. That would be rough. After some confusion, they all end up friends. Well, I'm glad that worked out. Converting the plane into a boat, everyone sets sail for Hawaii. After several adventures, they are rescued by the Coast Guard. The pilot and the missionary, with plans to adopt the orphans, are married by the captain. That sounds lovely. That sounds lovely. I've never seen it, but it sounds like it'd be a good movie. And then, of course, next, you have to have another Herbie movie, right? Because Herbie was all over the place. It was the highest grossing film in, 1960 and 1969? They were like, let's keep this a-rolling. And they did. Herbie Goes Bananas. While Pete and his friends, Davy Johns, are transporting, Herbie. It says Herbie in, parentheses, but it says a VW. Via ocean liner from Puerto Vallarta to Brazil, forgive me. For an auto race, their lives are complicated by a stowaway in Herbie's trunk, a lovable Mexican orphan, Paco, who's made the mistake of stealing a map of golden Incan ruins from a criminal now hot in pursuit. It sounds like a good Herbie movie, doesn't it? I still will forever lean toward the one with the fire truck because that's the only one that I've seen bits and pieces of. I said fire truck, firehouse, but I think if I really sat down and just watched the movies, I'd probably like them all. Truthfully, I just have to give them a chance. This movie, I have never even seen the cover of, and a lot of these I haven't. But when it comes to certain actors or actresses, you assume you know most of the stuff that they've done. But this is called The Devil and Max Devlin. How did I miss this movie? I don't know. To save his soul, minor league center Max Devlin makes a deal with the devil's right-hand man, Barney. Within 2 months, he must convince 3 innocent people to steal their souls. Max makes his victims' dreams come true and tricks him into signing a contract. At the last moment, Max learns that Barney lied and he risked eternal damnation by burning the contracts and saving the others. I mean, come on. Sorry, I'm looking at this like, I've never, okay. And no, this wasn't a Touchstone film. This was just Disney. I don't know what this film was rated, but it's not Touchstone. So it doesn't get any crazier than what, PG? Interesting. It's also, has anyone else seen the Disney Channel original movie H-E Double Hockey Sticks? That was a solid movie. Solid movie. You can watch it on YouTube. So go do that and then come back. Because I know you're triggered. Just go ahead and do it and then come back and see me when you're done. I won't blame you. I'll be here. I won't blame you. Next movie is called Amy. Amy is a young mother who has recently lost her cherished deaf son. That is so sad. Hit me in my feels. She leaves her domineering and insensitive husband to go to a school to teach the deaf to speak in an era when sign language was considered the only feasible means of communication. In helping her students to overcome their handicaps, she herself learns to be independent and self-reliant. This sounds like a feel-good movie. And I'm glad that she left that guy. He sounds terrible. Also, I have always wanted to learn sign language. And when I read the books, I don't think I'm understanding. I understand the motions, but I'm not understanding, I think, the flow through. So if anybody's got a thing that they've learned or used to learn sign language, let me know. My mother's a little bit better. But yeah, I'm still trying to learn Spanish too. I have a friend who knows like 5 languages, and I would love to just not catch up to her, but like, go the distance. I want to Hercules that, and I'm a slacker. It's for those of you who speak multiple languages, I'm so impressed by you. You are so impressive, and I'm jealous. Next movie, The Fox and the Hound. I can't watch this. I will ugly cry basically through the entire film, so we're not watching this one, but I do love it. Cooper. The animated story of 2 friends who didn't know they were supposed to be enemies. Todd, an orphan baby fox raised by a widow Tweed, is best friends with Cooper, a young hunting dog. When they grow up, Cooper learns to hunt and discovers he must pursue his friend. Todd is taken to a game preserve for safety. Then he falls in love with Vixie, a beautiful female fox. Cooper and his master hunt Todd in the preserve, but when the chips are down, Todd and Cooper realize that their friendship overcomes all. And then they can't hang out anymore, and then they went separate ways, and it's just sad. I'm telling you, I can't watch it, but it's a great movie. And if you haven't seen it, just grab a box of Kleenex and give it a go. You'll be fine. It'll be okay. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Condor Man is the next movie. And I'm not going to lie, the photo makes me giggle just a little bit. Woody Wilkins, a comic book artist of Condor Man stories, occasionally tests the character's comic gadgetry on himself. Woody is asked by a CIA agent friend to deliver diplomatic papers to a Russian agent with whom he falls in love. He's got to have the lady if he's going to superhero it, okay? It's just how it works. And when she offers to defect, he bumbles through a series of exciting and comic chases in trying to save her from the KGB. Listen, it sounds like all the other superhero movies. Some are darker, some are lighter, but like, come on. Superman's always got a lady, Iron Man's got a lady, Batman's got a lady. They got ladies. So, at least this lady wasn't getting kidnapped. Well, not that I think, but she wasn't getting kidnapped all the time. You didn't have to save her every time. Probably it's a good movie. Although, it made me giggle. Alright, this movie, I don't know how I feel about the cover of this, but The Watcher in the Woods. When an American composer and his family rent a foreboding house in England with an eccentric recluse, Miss Aylwood, a series of terrifying events occur, primarily to a 17-year-old Jan. It turns out that the eerie experiences are connected to Miss Aylwood's teenage daughter's disappearance 30 years earlier. A reenactment of the disappearance unexpectedly reveals the secrets of an unknown force. It makes me want to watch it because it doesn't tell me how it ends. And it looks, I'm intrigued by the cover of this. What can't be explained must be explored. Not in all cases, but you know. I would watch that. I would watch that. All right, we've made it to 1982. I forgot to update as we went. But 1982, the movie Night Crossing. Peter and Gunther hope to escape with their families from East Germany to the freedom of the West. Realizing that a balloon might be the answer, Peter and Gunther buy materials and begin building one in secret. Hot air balloons terrify me for more than one reason. When I was a kid and it was Wizard of Oz, I thought, oh, that looks like so much fun. No. The first flight with just Peter's family, Gunther's wife had convinced him to abandon the project, crashes just short of the border. With the police closing in rapidly, his family, once more joined by the Wetzels, which is Gunther's family, make a final attempt to fly to freedom and this time achieve success. It's the crashing for me. It's the big ball of flame. It is being up high and just parachuting way too fast to the ground. But it sounds like it might be a good movie. I was just worried about the balloon the whole time, so I feel like you're not helping my fear. Next movie is Tron. Flynn, a young computer genius, breaks into the Incom computer looking for, and it's the Encom. I've never seen Tron. I'm really sorry. I'm going to say Incom. Computer looking for evidence that the video game programs he wrote were stolen by Dillinger, an Incom executive. Dillinger's master control program must stop Flynn, and it blasts him into its own computer dimensions. Flynn awakens in the electronic world. Wouldn't that be absolutely terrifying? Like, what would you do? Back to the Wizard of Oz. You're in a whole different world. Like, what would you do? Flynn awakens into the computer world where computer programs all the alter egos of the programmers who created them. And he is sentenced to die on a video game grid. Together with Tron, an electronic security program, Flynn escapes, destroys the MCP, and is able to return to the real world. Jumanji-esque. That's a great movie, too. I haven't seen, I know they redid Tron, and I remember my father and my sister, liking Tron, but this is the original, so I don't know if anyone's ever seen this one, but if you've seen it, let me know if the original is good. Next movie, it's the last one of 1982, it's called Tex. 15-year-old Tex McCormick and his 17-year-old brother Mason are trying to make it on their own in the absence of their rodeo riding father. I don't know why my brain couldn't say absence. Here we are. Mason takes over running the household and to make ends meet, sells Tex's beloved horse Rowdy. That's sad. Tex gets mad at Mason and heedlessly tumbles into scrape after scrape. I mean, I'd probably fight for my horse too, let's be honest. When his pop comes home, Tex is shocked to learn that he isn't his real father. Tex realizes that Mason and Pop do love him, and it's time to start growing up. I'm stressed. The moment that the horse got sold, I would start crying, and I'd be sad about it, and I'd be upset, and turn it off. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't turn it off, but wow, the struggles. I mean, he's young, right? His 17-year-old brother Mason. Oh, he's 15. 15. That's a lot of hormones. That's a lot of emotions. Ugh. 1983, movie called Trenchcoat. The picture for this is wild. Wild. And it has nothing to do with Touchstone. So, wild. While vacationing in Malta, aspiring mystery writer Mickey Raymond gets mixed up with disappearing corpses. Disbelieving police and a federal agent in disguise, kidnappers, terrorists, and stolen plutonium. She and the federal agent, with whom she's becoming romantically involved, because of course, narrowly escape an explosion set to kill them, and they capture the terrorists instead. I mean, it sounds like a 1980s Murder, She Wrote. Who doesn't love a good episode of Murder, She Wrote? I'd watch it. All right. Next. Something Wicked This Way Comes. Just the sound of that. You know, when anyone says it, you already know it's like ominous. It's a little spooky, you know? The ominous arrival of Dark's Pandemonium Carnival in Greentown sparks the curiosity of two boys. It wouldn't me too. Will Halloway and Jim Nightshade. Nightshade, great name. Dark transforms some of the townspeople as the boys try to find out the secret of the carnival. The boys hide from Dark, who threatens Will's father, the town librarian, who in turn finally helps good triumph over evil as he saves the boys and causes the destruction of the ominous carnival. Is there a Goosebumps book about this? It's real Goosebumpsy, right? Goosebump-esque. I feel like I've read something about this previously. Is there a movie or a television show? I don't know, but it's given goosebumps. But I would watch it. Who doesn't want to watch a movie about a spooky carnival? I don't want to be at one, but a movie about one, perfectly fine. It's Never Cry Wolf. A young biologist, Tyler, is sent by the Canadian government into the Arctic wilderness to study wolves, which have been accused of killing off the caribou herds. He suffered hardships in the wilds and gains the respect of the wolves. He adopts some of their lifestyles and discovers that hunters, and not the wolves, are the main enemy of the caribou. Sounds great, actually, because, you know, we don't want the wolves getting blamed for something they didn't do. Sounds good. 1984, Splash. Alan Bauer discovers a mermaid. Mermaid, you say? Whom he is originally seen as a child at Cape Cod. She goes to New York to find him, and on land, her tail transforms into legs. No one told Ariel about this? You could just... Alright. Okay. Did she have to sell her voice? Alright. I feel like Ariel got underhanded. Alan and the mermaid, who calls herself Madison, fall in love, and he tries to teach her the ways of human life. Scientists capture Madison, but she's saved by Alan and his brother, Freddie. Alan and Madison finally elude their captors by leaping into the sea. Does Alan become a merman? Tom Hanks is in this movie. Someone has bound to have seen this. Let me know, please. Let me know. Movie called Tiger Town. 12-year-old Alex is a die-hard Tiger fan who is convinced that a true believer can make anything happen. I'm with you. Meditation, vision boards, you know. I don't know if it works, but I'm willing to try it. You know, anything. I'll try anything. He idolizes aging basketball star Bill Young, who dreams of winning the pennant. Why'd you have to call him aging? I guess it's pertinent. When Alex is in the stands watching and wishing, Billy suddenly begins playing a winning game and the Tigers come closer to the pennant. Alex continues to believe in Billy and the Tigers do indeed win the championship. Perfect. Also, I want you guys to know this is the first motion picture created exclusively for the Disney Channel, and it aired on October 9th of 1983. It was a made for TV movie, but it was the first like Disney original movie. How cool is that? Baseball movie. All right, next movie. Last of 1984. It's called Country. This is Touchstone. Okay, so Touchstone. A soft-spoken farmer's wife, Jewel Ivy, demonstrates surprising heroism when faced with the government's forced foreclosure of her family's farm. Her husband, Gil, is nearly destroyed by the tragic turn of events. Jill manages to hold her family together while enlisting the aid of other farmers facing the same problems. Feel good, community together movie. Hopefully she gets her farm and nobody took it away. So, also I need to shift, so squeaky chair. Thank you. Okay, 1985. This is also Touchstone. Baby, the secret of the lost legend. A young scientist discovers the existence of a family of dinosaurs in the jungle of Africa. why my brain does this. Has anyone ever found, or have they ever found dinosaur bones in Africa? Somebody let me know. Let me know. With her husband, she attempts to rescue them from an evil scientist who, with the government's support, is trying to capture the creatures. Soldiers kill the father and capture the mother, but the scientist manages to save the baby brontosaurus. It's a brontosaurus. It's not going to eat you. People, come on. These scientists. After a series... fake dinosaur. Like, don't hurt them. Thank you. After a series of hair-raising adventures, the couple defeats the evil scientist and reunites the infant with its mother. Great, but like... Poor dad. I'm glad the baby got reunited with its mama, but like, you know, leave him alone. Just leave him alone. This movie... Sorry, my paper's rubbing against my... I have to use a charger cord. Listen, it's been a long day. This movie is wild. And first time I watched it, I was like, what is this? What is this? Far from anything comparable to the original. Yet again, I'm bringing up The Wizard of Oz because this is Return to Oz. You ever seen this? Wild. Dorothy Gale, thought to have psychological problems because of her tales of Oz, is sent to an institution. I was about to say illusionist. I feel illusioned. An institution, and is about to receive shock treatment with a lightning storm, or when a lightning storm enables her to escape down a raging river. She awakens the next day in Oz. But her happiness in returning to Oz soon dissolves into horror. She finds a magical land in ruins and the Emerald City a wasteland. The kingdom is now ruled by the Gnome King and the wicked Princess Mumby, who captures Dorothy. But she escapes with the aid of new friends, Tik Tok, Bellina, and a talking hen, Jack Pumpkinhead, and the Gump. You guys, I'm telling you, have you seen this? Wild. They travel to the Gnome King's mountain in the deadly desert to find the Scarecrow and must play a nightmarish game with the evil monarch to save their friend. Dorothy manages to emerge victorious, save her friends, rescue the magical princess Ozma, thereby restoring... Ozma. I said Ozma. Listen to me. Ozma. Ozma. Thereby restoring Oz to its former glory. Some of the things in this movie are nightmare fuel. What are they? The roller things? The roller guys? Nightmare fuel. Make sure your kids are old enough to watch that one. I'm just saying, it's wild. It is wild. All right, moving on before I stay here for forever. The Black Cauldron. Story of young Taran, a pig keeper, who attempts to rescue his clairvoyant pig, Hinwin, from the Horn King's castle. If you have a clairvoyant pig, what are you doing? Just saying. The king tries to get Hinwin to lead him to the mysterious Black Cauldron. Taran escapes with the young princess and a minstrel? I'm going to put that word up on screen. I don't know what that is. And with the help of mischievous Gurgi, mischievous. Anyone else? Mischievous? That's a terrible word for me to say. Ooh, my God. I hope you're laughing. Please. Or just agreeing. Ay. Alright. Finds the cauldron. They find the cauldron, okay? Before they can destroy it, it is taken by the Horn King, who begins to unleash its awesome power of producing deathless warriors. It's like a Meek-Seek box. Gurgi, because I think that's how you say that, sacrifices himself to destroy the cauldron's power and save his friends, but in the end, Taran defeats the Horn King and Gurgi is restored. Okay. I thought homie was like out of here. That's why I've never seen that movie. It sounds wild and I should probably watch it. All right, another Touchstone movie. My Science Project. High school senior Michael Harlan and his best friend Vince must put together a passing science project in 2 weeks in order to graduate. Okay? With the deadline rapidly approaching, Michael risks the wrath of armed military guards and stages a midnight raid on a nearby U.S. Air Force supply dump. Just Pick a simpler project. They discover a mysterious instrument that can cause a space-time warp. Michael's teacher is sucked into a cosmic whirlpool, and the device madly drains power from the school and the surrounding city. Michael and his friends try to stop the device while fighting everything from a Neanderthal man, mutants, gladiators, and Egyptian queens. You ain't fighting off them queens, boy. To soldiers. They're just, wow, it really unleashed. Finally, the kids are able to shut off the device and return it to the supply dump. Pick a simpler project. Wow, that sounds like a great movie, though. Sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. But, like, don't make it so complicated. All right, guys. The journey of, I'm going to say Natty Gann. Future me, insert words, please. Thank you. During the mid-1930s, the father of 14-year-old Natty has to leave Chicago suddenly to find lumbering work in Washington State. Is it easy to do lumbering in Washington State? I feel like it's a pretty rainy place. Can you lumber work in rain? Just questions of things I don't understand or know about. She sets off alone to follow him across the country. Not a good idea. She hops trains, befriends a wolf and a teenage drifter, and after a series of adventures is reunited with her father. Listen, girl, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. I'm trying to look on here. Yeah, John Cusack. I was like, I know that face. I know that face. That sounds stressful. I don't know if that's the movie for me. Stressful. Next film is One Magic Christmas. Her husband and kids try to cheer up a young mother, Ginny Granger, who has lost the spirit of Christmas. I've done that 1 or 2 years. It's really hard. Some years are worse than others. Gideon, a Christmas angel, I love the name Gideon, side note, appears to help and causes a number of seeming tragedies in the family's life. So he shows up to help, but then doesn't. That is rough. He then takes the daughter on a visit to Santa Claus to retrieve a letter the mother had written years before. The letter helps the mother regain her Christmas spirit, and Gideon turns back the clock to negate the tragic events. Well, at least Gideon can fix it. Good Lord. Yet again, maybe not the movie for me. Doesn't sound like a bad movie. Oh, Sweet, Sweet Bette Midler. This is a Touchstone movie, and this is the first one I came across that is rated R. Down and Out in Beverly Hills. I have heard of this movie. I have never seen this movie, but I love me some Bette Midler, okay? So keep that in the back of your mind. When Jerry, a down and out bum, tries to drown himself in a Beverly Hills swimming pool, the wealthy homeowner, Dave Whiteman, rescues him and invites him into the house to live. Jerry turns the lives of the Whiteman family completely upside down, and in doing so changes their perception of the world around them, hopefully mellowing them out. They find they need Jerry and his unconventional attitudes as much as he needs them. Sounds like a movie. Sounds like a good... It's Bette Midler. Like, I can't get away from the fact that, like, she's in this, and it's probably phenomenal. Phenomenal. So... probably watch that. Another Touchstone movie, also rated R, is called Offbeat. As a favor, library clerk Joe Gower takes the place of his friend, police officer Abe Washington, at a dance audition for cops. I didn't know this was a thing. He is supposed to fail and get his friend out of the show, but he falls in love with his dance partner, hostage negotiator Rachel, who thinks he's really a cop and passes the audition. You had one job. One job. What are you doing? Joe continues the impersonation in order to win Rachel, but finally decides to confess, as you should. Before he can do so, he's taken hostage, still in uniform, by bank robbers. Not good. He foils the robbers, and Rachel learns the truth. They realize their love makes up for his masquerade and dance together in the policeman show. Wild ride. I'm trying to think. There's a movie that it kind of reminds me of, and I can't remember exactly what it is. But anyway, it sounds like it'd be a fun, like, romantic comedy. Next movie, Disney was just like, let's just whip out all of these rated R movies and just see what happens. Rated R, Touchstone. Ruthless People. And that's a wild, that's a wild photo. Hide your kids. A husband plans to murder his loud, overweight wife. Listen, you could have left that second part out. She can be loud all she wants. She can eat whatever she wants. Thank you. But before he can carry out his plan, she's kidnapped. That's good for her. It's probably a good thing she got kidnapped. The inept kidnappers keep lowering their ransom demands when the husband refuses to pay. The wife takes advantage of her confinement to go on a crash-reducing program. And she eventually teams with the kidnappers against her husband. I feel bad for this woman. Her husband, not a great guy. I keep it PG on this channel, so moving on for my thoughts. Oh my goodness. The Great Mouse Detective. Animated Adventures of a Mouse. Basil of Baker Street, who is called upon to search for a toy maker. Flaversham is how I'm going to say that. Flaversham? Flaversham. Who's been kidnapped to make a robot replica of the queen for the evil Ratigan. Basil, aided by the intrepid Dr. Dawson, helps the toy maker's daughter Olivia search for her father. They foil Ratigan's plot and eventually save the queen. I'm not going to lie to you. I have seen this. But I was like 6-ish, okay? It's been a very long time and I haven't seen it since, but I would for sure watch it again. I also think that in Disneyland, on some of those like special events, that they've had Ratigan out there. I may be wrong, but I feel like they have, like a rare character. Anyway, moving on. Flight of the Navigator. A boy goes out into the woods one evening, has a fall, and when he gets up, he returns to his house. He discovers his family no longer lives there. Terrifying. Glitch in the Matrix. I'm out. Absolutely not. It is 8 years later and everyone has aged except the boy. Eventually, it turns out that he had been on a spaceship helping an alien to navigate it. No. No, I'm out. Tapped. No thank you. If that sounds like a movie for you, or if you've seen it, no thank you. The stress, absolutely not. Next movie, Tough Guys. It's a Touchstone movie. Two train robbers from the old school Harry Doyle and Archie Long are released from prison, but they find it very difficult adjusting to modern society. I mean, I get it. Have you heard some of those people that have been in prison since 1970? There's one that I'm thinking of in particular, but I'm not going to say that name on this channel. And sounded every interview, even through the like 2010s, sounded like he was stuck in the 1970s. Because he'd been in there since the 1970s. That's madness. Crazy. They come to realize that their age has caught up to them, but desire one more moment of glory. I mean, aided by their probation officer who has hero worshipped them for years. Maybe not the right thing. Or train rob. Maybe don't do that. They attempt to pull off one last train robbery. On the final run of the train, they had failed to rob 18 years before. Maybe just realize it didn't work for a reason. Don't do that. Why would you, after 18 years, why would you get out and then commit the same crime? On the same train. Fine. But like, no. Don't do that. All right, next film. The Color of Money. And I think that brings us, this is the end of 1986. I know I haven't been very good about this today. I'm very sorry. The Color of Money. It's a Touchstone film. It's rated R. Former pool hustler Fast Eddie Felsen, what a great name, sees promise in a cocky kid Vincent. With the help of Vincent's girlfriend, Carmen, he takes the kid under his wing to prepare him for a major Atlantic City tournament. After a falling out, Felsen takes up his cue stick again, and the two end up playing against each other. It's probably like a feel-good story. It says Paul Newman and Tom Cruise. It's probably a solid movie. I've never seen it, but you know. There's a bunch of these apparently I haven't seen. I thought the 1980s were going to be a solid decade for me. I was wrong. I started researching it, and I was like, I am mistaken. My girl Bette's back. Okay, Bette Midler. Movie, rated R, from Touchstone, called Outrageous Fortune. Two aspiring actresses, rivals in drama class, discover they are also rivals for the affection of the same man. Let him go. Both of you let him go. Ain't good enough. Ask me how I know. No, I'm just kidding. He's not good enough. No, we don't play this game. When he disappears, they team up to find him so he could choose between them. No. My response is, you can have him, I'm outie. But everyone's different. When they finally catch him, they discover he's a renegade CIA agent escaping to the Russian KGB with a dangerous toxin. They team up as friends now to thwart their former lover and save the United States. Yeah, you get it, girls. I'm telling you, just no thank you. Moving on. There are other fish in the sea. You know what I mean, girl? Moving on. Next movie, Tin Men. It is also Touchstone and is also rated R. In Baltimore in 1963, two rival alumni siding salesmen. Tin Men, it says. Bill B.B. Babowski. Oh, what a great name. And Ernest Tilley. Still feuding when Tilley runs into BB's brand new Cadillac. Their feud escalates until finally BB plays what he thinks is a winning card. He seduces Tilley's wife, Nora. BB's plan backfires because Tilley is glad to get rid of Nora. And BB finds himself falling in love with her. I am very confused. In addition to BB's and Tilley's personal struggles, the IRS is after Tilley, and both men face losing their license because of unscrupulous sales practices. But BB and Tilley are survivors, and together they face the future with new dreams. I don't know what to say about this. If you've seen it, let me know if it's a good film. Goodness gracious. Woof. All right. Now listen, I didn't understand this. I didn't know this. But the Ernest movies, you know, Ernest Does This, Ernest Does That, they're Touchstone movies. I did not know Disney. Ernest, come on. Also, Jim Varney. I have a soft spot for Jim Varney in my heart. Ernest Goes to Camp. Ernest P. Worley, working as a handyman at a boys' summer camp, aspires to be a counselor and is rewarded by being in charge of a group of juvenile delinquents. Because, of course, you would give Ernest the delinquents. After initial problems highlighted by slapstick humor, because Jim Varney, Ernest and the boys gain some mutual respect and help save the camp from developers. It's a great movie. This is the one where he gets the turtle on the tip of the nose, right? Great movie. Jim Varney, 10 out of 10. Him and Bette Midler really like, can you tell? I love Bette Midler, and I love Jim Varney. They're great. And I mean, they're movies. Like, I don't know, you know, no one knows them personally. They're movies. Yeah, I don't know anything else about them. Just the movies. Moving on. I don't like the name of this movie. It's called Benji the Hunted. And I don't think I'm going to like the description of this either. So, Benji, the dog, becomes lost in the mountains after a fishing accident and is forced to become involved with animals that are normally a dog's mortal enemies, including Kodiak bear, a black timber wolf, and a number of cougars. I don't like this. He aids some orphaned cougar cubs while trying to find his way back to civilization. That's all it tells me. I'm assuming he makes it back home, but he Is he a big dog or a small dog? I can't tell from the picture, but I'm stressed and I will not be watching that. No. Animal in Crisis. I can't do it. Another Touchstone movie. Adventures in Babysitting. I haven't seen that. I know her face. I was trying to read names really quick, but I'm not good at this. So anyway, 17-year-old Chris Parker's babysitting assignments turn to bedlam when a frightened friend calls her from a bus station. Packing her charges into the family station wagon headed for downtown Chicago to save a friend. They find themselves caught up in a comic nightmare in an urban jungle of the big city, a place very different from suburbia, which they know, tangling with car thieves, bums, and other unsavory characters. I mean, it sounds like it's stressful, but it sounds like everything probably gets worked out, and it's probably comedic in the meantime. So, you know. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It is called Stakeout. It is a Touchstone film. It is rated R. Seattle detectives Chris and Bill pull an unwanted assignment. The night shift stakeout of the home of the ex-girlfriend of a vicious escaped convict. And then Chris becomes smitten, and they soon are bending the rules and having dinner together. And eventually the convict arrives, kidnaps both Chris and Bill, and sets off on a frantic chase. I'm stressed. But it's probably, I'm hoping, a great movie. So, who knows? All right, we have to pause. My mother called me. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. Anyway, we're back at it. Next movie, also Touchstone movie, Can't Buy Me Love. High school senior Ronald Miller longs to be popular and comes up with a unique plan. He hires the most popular cheerleader in school, Cindy, to be his girlfriend. Ronald is transformed almost overnight from nerd to the most popular guy on campus, but he does not notice when Cindy develops a real affection for him. Cute! I love that. Anyway, next movie. Sorry, I got a text message from my mother. She needed some help. We figured it out. Then she distracts my brain. All right, next movie, Hello Again. It's also a Touchstone picture. And it is Lucy Chadman is a klutz. That's how it starts. She has a hard time fitting in with her doctor husband's social circle. Because she's unique and probably wonderful. One day, she chokes to death on a Korean chicken ball. This is not how I thought this was going. Her sister Zelda, who runs a shop devoted to mysticism and the occult, manages 1 year later to work a spell that brings Lucy back to life. Pet Cemetery-esque? I hope not. Anyway, Lucy finds her husband has married her former best friend, and she must make a new life for herself. An instant celebrity for coming back from death. Lucy finds true love in the emergency room doctor who tried to save her life. Okay. It's Shelley Long. You know? Wild. It's almost like Death Becomes Her. That's a great movie. Have you ever seen that? Ooh, great movie. All right, a movie I have seen. Okay. 3 Men and a Baby. It's also a Touchstone movie. Happy-go-lucky bachelors Michael, Peter, and Jack live together in an avant-garde apartment in New York City. When Jack goes off on a trip telling his roommates to expect a package, the two are amazed to find a baby on the doorstep. Totally inexperienced for caring for a baby, Peter and Michael learn quickly and soon find themselves becoming very protective of their baby, as does Jack when he returns. Meanwhile, drug dealers who are after the real package threaten the baby's safety. The trio foil the dealers and arrange for baby Mary and her mother to live with them permanently. It's a cute movie. I do recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's very cute. Now, I've never seen this movie. Shocking. I've never seen this movie. But everybody knows this quote. So if you haven't seen this movie, you probably know this quote. If you're old enough, I'll at least say that. It is a Touchstone movie. It is rated R, and it is called Good Morning Vietnam. And everybody knows this because of Robin Williams. When he just gets on the mic, Good morning, Vietnam! You know. If you know, you know. But you know. When airman disc jockey Adrian takes up a post on Armed Forces Radio in Saigon in 1965, he abandons the approved playlist for rock and roll and adds irrelevant remarks. His superiors are horrified, but the men love him as he accomplishes his mission of boosting morale. As he gets to know the people of Saigon, Americans and Vietnamese alike, he becomes increasingly frustrated by the military censorship of the news. After he broadcasts an unofficial report and is cut off air, his commander deliberately sends him into danger, but a young Vietnamese boy helps rescue him. The boy turns out to be a Viet Cong rebel and Adrian is sent home for having unwittingly fraternized with the enemy. Still, his broadcast paved the way for changes on Armed Forces Radio. I've meant to watch this, and I just haven't done it. It's on my to watch list, but there's a ton of movies on that list, so let me know if you've seen it. I'm sure a bunch of you have. Or if you haven't seen it, you can hear Robin Williams say that line in your head. You can hear it. I can hear it. I haven't seen the movie. All right, Touchstone, rated R, Shoot to Kill. FBI agent Warren Statton is in pursuit of a ruthless murderer extortionist who is fleeing the country by posing as one of the group of fishermen on a trek through the mountains near the Canadian border. Solid plan. In order to track his man in the rugged wilderness, Statton teams up with Jonathan Knox, the loner partner boyfriend of the fisherman's guide, Sarah. Knox is angry about being saddled with a tenderfoot whose inexperience in the wild might keep him from reaching Sarah until it's too late, but he and Statton gradually come to rely on each other. The pursuit continues to Vancouver, but here Statton is on his turf and takes the lead in an exciting chase and climax. Great adventure movie, you know? DOA, Touchstone, rated R. College professor Dexter Cornwell discovers that he had been poisoned by a fatal, slow-acting toxin. He only has 24 hours to unravel the mystery of his imminent demise. Enlisting the aid of Sidney Fuller, a naive student who has a crush on him, he soon becomes enmeshed in a series of murders as he attempts to find out who killed him and why. I want to see this movie. Like normal. It's got Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. If you've seen this, please let me know if it is worth the watch. I'm sure it is, but let me know because I want to watch that. All right, back to a Disney movie. No Touchstone here. Although Touchstone is Disney and Disney is Touchstone, and I'm upset I didn't know that before. I'm telling you, sneaky, sneaky. Return to Snowy River. The man from Snowy River, Jim Craig, returns to his homeland with a herd of wild horses to claim the woman he loves and set up his stake as a horse breeder. Jessica's father still opposes the match, as does her would-be suitor, Alistair Patton. Jessica defies her father and goes with Jim, but Patton, bitter at his loss, steals Jim's herd. When Jim follows, Patton and his gang shoot his horse, leaving it to die in the wilderness. Okay, now I'm ready to fight this guy. A mysterious black stallion comes to Jim's aid, along with Jessica and her father and his men, and together they rescue the herd. Jessica is reunited with her father and her lover, and they begin their new life in Snowy River. It almost sounds like a cowboy flick, and honestly, it's not for me. Not that cowboy flicks aren't for me, but just that description. It's not for me. But I hope it was a good movie. Guaranteed big laughs. This one says Big Business. It is a Touchstone film, and of course it has Miss Bette Midler. Two sets of twins, Rose and Sadie Shelton and Rose and Sadie Ratcliffe, are mixed up at birth. Years later, the Sheltons are running a major corporation in New York, with Rose not caring for the corporate life, and the Ratcliffes are living in the poor West Virginia town that relies on a local furniture company for its survival, with Sadie longing for the joys of the big city. When the Shelton's company tries to sell off the furniture company and town, the Ratcliffes go to New York to protest. It's a major case of mistaken identities as all four ladies end up staying at the Plaza Hotel, pursued by their respective beaux. it looks adorable. And it's Bette Midler, so, you know. You know. I don't know who Lily Tomlin is. I've seen her face, but Bette Midler. That's all I have to say. Next movie, I've definitely seen it. It is a Touchstone movie. I quote this movie often. Often. Okay? Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Roger Rabbit is a toon, an animated star at Maroon Cartoon Studios. After an opening cartoon, Something's Cooking. Oh, that baby, you know. We discover that Roger is suspected of murder of Marvin Acme, who owned Toontown and the company that makes all cartoon props, and who had been flirting with Roger's wife, Jessica. Listen. Jessica flirts with everybody by talking to him, okay? So everybody flirts back. Down on his luck, private detective Eddie Valiant is asked by Roger to find the real culprit. He reluctantly agrees and soon discovers that there is more to the mystery, the mysterious Judge Doom that meets the eye. Chased by Doom's weasel henchmen, you just want to throw a punch every single one of them. Eddie visits Toontown with its many well-known Toon inhabitants before discovering the identity of the murderer. Yeah, it's a great movie. I watch it frequently. It's phenomenal. I love that movie. Also, I know everyone complains about the ride at Disneyland, but I am stoked to ride it. I'm also glad that there is still Roger Rabbit in the parks. So here we are. In some aspect. That's all I have to say. Also, I think this is one of the first films that Mickey Mouse makes like a cameo appearance. It also has Bugs Bunny in it. So, you know, it's a great film. It's a great film. I'm not going to be under an hour, you guys. I tried my best. It's not going to happen. Movie. It's Touchstone. It's rated R. It's called Cocktail. Returning from his military service, young Brian Flanagan finds his hopes dashed when he tries to find a career bringing him power, excitement, and quick personal profit. He ends up as a bartender, but under the tutelage of a seasoned pro, Doug. His flashy expertise and killer smile make him a star on the club circuit. Soon he is swept up in a seductive world of easy money and sex in New York and Jamaica. Eventually, a spirited romance with Jordan Mooney helps bring perspective to the bartender's life. I mean, it's, Tom Cruise, right? So, people love Tom Cruise. The Rescue. I've never seen this either. It's a Touchstone film. When a group of Navy SEAL officers are captured while on a secret mission off North Korea. It says mission off North Korea. I thought I read that wrong, but that's what it says. The U.S. government hesitates to use force to rescue them, despite the threat of their impending execution as spies. So, at the Navy base, the men's children steal a top-secret plan and go off to rescue their fathers on their own. Sneaking into North Korea, but spurned by South Korea intelligence operatives because of their ages, the kids manage to break into a high-security prison by themselves and effect the rescue under cover of a barrage of fireworks. Don't try that at home. Don't try that at home. I need some water. Be right back. Like I said, don't try that at home. Hotel Heartbreak. It's a Touchstone film. Aspiring rock and roller Johnny Wolf loves his mother, but realizes the only person who can bring her out of her doldrums is her idol, Elvis Presley. My mother loved Elvis as well. Johnny arranges to kidnap Elvis after a nearby concert and accuses him of abandoning rock and roll. Don't kidnap Elvis Presley. What? The idealistic youth's questioning of the celebrity's values causes Elvis to remain in the small town for a few days and not only help Johnny's mother, but reassess his own place in the music world and the type of person he has become in recent years. Okay, so it worked out, but don't be kidnapping people. Thank you. Touchstone film, rated R. It's called The Good Mother. And it's got Diane Keaton in it. And Liam Neeson. Alrighty. After weathering an unexciting marriage, single parent Anna Dunlap is totally wrapped up in her daughter Molly, who is her whole life. She's a good parent. When an unconventional Irish sculptor, Leo Cutter, enters Anna's life, she falls passionately in love. However, their openness and permissiveness cause her ex-husband to turn against her, and he files a custody suit for Molly. In trying to retain custody on her lawyer's recommendation, she reluctantly sacrifices Leo, all to no avail. Eventually, she must pick up her life and begin anew with only weekend and vacation visits for Molly. That sounds heartbreaking, and I want nothing to do with it. And if you've ever been through something like that, whether you're the child of something like that or the adult of something like that, I can't imagine what that was like. And I hope you have figured out how to move through it, or you are figuring out how to move through it. Because that sucks. Moving on. Ernest Saves Christmas. I watch this every Christmas season. I apologize for nothing. Most people watch like the Santa Claus. Hot take, I don't like those movies. I'm watching Ernest, okay? Santa Claus travels to Orlando to find a successor, a sometime actor and puppeteer Joe. On the way to find Joe, Santa meets bumbling cab driver Ernest and by mistake leaves his sack in the cab. Ernest and a runaway girl, Pamela, try to help Santa. Pamela, who had attempted to steal the sack, returns it, and Ernest, for many mishaps, manages to deliver Santa's sleigh and reindeer from the airport just in time for Joe to take over on Christmas Eve. It's cute. Jim Varney. If you haven't seen any Ernest movies, please go do that. They're wonderful. Next movie, Oliver and Company. I love this movie. I get the soundtrack stuck in my head all the time. It's the Oliver twist with an animated twist. We love it. Setting is in New York. Oliver is a kitten and Fagin, the human master of the pack of pickpocket dogs. When a wealthy little girl from Fifth Avenue finds Oliver and takes him uptown to live with her in her mansion, Fagin's evil boss Sykes steps in to kidnap the pair of them. His nasty plan is foiled, however, when Oliver's motley crew of dog buddies, aided by Ginny's prissy poodle Georgette, decide to use their street savoir-faire. Guys, I don't know what that says. It's not English. In order to rescue their feline friend. It's a cute movie. 10 out of 10 recommend. Please go watch it. It's phenomenal. Next movie, Beaches. By Touchstone. On a hot summer day, a remarkable and unlikely friendship begins at the beach at Atlantic City. 11-year-old Cece Bloom and Hillary Whitney are from different worlds. Brash, streetwise Cece wants to be a famous singing star, while Hillary is a proper young lady from San Fran. Although they go their separate ways, they vow to remain friends, and through letters, they share each other's hopes, dreams, and frustrations. Years later, their lives again entwine when Hillary, now a lawyer, moves in with the rising actress Cece. Their friendship is strained when Cece's director, John, whom she is in love, falls for Hillary. When Hillary returns to California to take care of her ailing father, John turns to Cece. Hillary marries another lawyer who eventually leaves her. The strength of Hillary and Cece's relationship sustains them throughout the success and disappointments of their marriages and careers, through the birth of Hillary's daughter, and ultimately through a crisis that tests their love and teaches them the true meaning of friendship. All I'm going to say is not the movie for me, but Bette Midler. So that's all I'm going to say. That's it. Next movie, Touchstone. 3 Fugitives. Newly released from prison, former bank robber Lucas has decided to go straight. As he's trying to deposit his prison paycheck in a local bank, Ned Perry, an inept but desperate robber, stumbles into the bank and takes him hostage. Because of Lucas's notorious reputation, the bank thinks he masterminded the robbery, and when Perry endangers everyone with the live grenade, Lucas reluctantly takes charge of the situation and engineers their escape. That poor guy. He was just trying to be a better person. The fugitives are joined by Perry's cute but troubled 6-year-old daughter, who hasn't spoken in the last 2 years since her mother died, and for whose special schooling he needed the money. That's so sad. Soon a genuine friendship grows between these unlikely partners in crime as Lucas tries to prove his innocence and Perry tries to provide a better life for his daughter. Everyone was just trying to be good people, and I'm hoping it worked out. Now this one, it is Touchstone. It is 3 different movies, and I don't have a lot on this, and I've never seen it. It says The New York Stories. It's a combination of 3 short stories, Life Lessons, Life Without Zoe, and Oedipus Rex. Or Oedipus Rex? That, what's it called? Dyslexia is kicking in hard today. Each about life with intriguing characters in New York City. That's all I have. So, I was going to look up more. I forgot, and here we are. I apologize. Next movie is Disorganized Crime. It is a Touchstone picture and is rated R. In a small town in Montana, cunning criminal Frank has planned the perfect bank robbery and sent invitations to 4 heist experts for help, only to be arrested by 2 New Jersey cops who had been following him. The 4 strangers soon arrive and find themselves in a quandary. What were they gathered to do? How are they to do it? The 4 dislike each other, but strive to work together, even without a leader, for what they hope will be a major payoff. Meanwhile, Salazar escapes. It's Frank Salazar. Salazar escapes. Lost my place, you guys. Oh, and the cops are confounded by his actions, as well as those of the bank robbers. They are miscues. Yeah, there are miscues by both sides as they bungle their operations. Just don't rob places. No, it's probably a cool action movie. You know. Speaking of Robin Williams, because this next movie is Robin Williams, this performance was phenomenal. It's a Touchstone picture, and it's the Dead Poets Society. And I know most people, when they think of Robin Williams, don't think of stuff like this, but phenomenal. John Keating, a dedicated English teacher, returns to his alma mater. Alma mater? Alma mater. Is that alma mater? Is that how you say it? A stuffy Eastern boys prep school. Why would you do that? The administration frowns upon his teaching methods, which encourage the students not to learn by, I think that says rote, but to think and feel for themselves. He awakens such a passion in one group of students that they revive the Dead Poets Society, a secret club to which he once belonged. The Dead Poets meet at midnight in a cave to recite and even compose poetry. Ultimately, their quest for self-knowledge leads to tragedy as one student whose dreams of becoming an actor are smashed by his tyrannical father chooses to die rather than continue to pretend he is something that he is not. It's rough. Keating's career as a teacher is finished, but his spirit and passion will live on in the students whose thoughts and minds he's helped to shape. It's great. It's a great movie, and you should watch it and let me know how you feel. I feel like the only other movie that comes to mind is like To Sir with Love. If you haven't seen that movie, that's a great movie. That is an old movie, but that is a great movie. It's not like same but different, but as far as like a teacher having a significant impact, that's what it reminds me of. Next movie, which I have seen, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Professor Wayne Zielinski is trying to perfect an electromagnetic shrinking machine, but everyone thinks he is a crackpot. It's true, they do. When Zielinski's 2 kids, Amy and Nick, along with neighbor kids Ron and little Russ Thompson, are accidentally zapped by the machine, they find themselves a 1/4 inch high. The professor unknowingly sweeps them up and throws them out in the trash, and they find it necessary to complete a major trek across the backyard, now a teeming jungle, to find them. As their parents search for them, the tiny kids face unseeming, insurmountable obstacles and unexpected terror as they make their way around the house and hoped for the restoration by the machine. I loved this movie when I was a kid. It's a great movie. You should go watch it. And I am kind of sad that they don't still have the Bugs Life themed playground. It was a work of art. Those big old grass blades, like Disney really did it. So that's what was there when I was a kid. Ugh. Things I miss. Great movie though. All right, Tom Hanks movie, Touchstone, Turner and Hooch. Small-town police detective Scott Turner's life is suddenly turned around when an elderly friend is murdered and Turner unwillingly takes in Hooch, the friend's huge, sloppy, ill-mannered dog, who is the only witness to the murder. Soon, Hooch has completely wrecked Turner's house and complicated his budding romance with veterinarian Emily Carson, but the mixed-matched pair eventually form a partnership in outwitting the crooks. I love a movie with, like, a dog that's inherently happy, so I've seen snippets. From what I've seen, it's not a bad movie. I'm just saying. And Tom Hanks did a lot of stuff throughout childhood. Toy Story. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway. Next movie is called Cheetah. Teenagers Ted and Susan join their parents at a Kenyan research station. After befriending a young native boy, they find a baby cheetah whose mother has been killed by poachers. Yet again, I'm ready to throw hands. They manage to convince their parents to let them raise the cheetah, named Duma, as a pet. When it's time for the kids to return home, Duma has to be returned to the wild. Before this can be accomplished, he is captured by a local merchant hoping to race the cat against greyhounds. Why? I have questions. Ted and Susan disobey their parents and set out to rescue Duma. And I'm stressed. So, maybe not the movie for me. But it sounds like a wild time. Puns intended. Next movie, An Innocent Man, Touchstone rated R. When two ruthless on the take narcotic cops, it says on the take, by the way, I'm not losing it. Narcotics cops mistake Jimmy Ringwood's home for that of a local drug dealer. They break in and shoot him before they realize they busted the wrong man. What? I'm immediately stressed. Jimmy is convicted of a crime he did not commit and is sent to prison, where he learns to survive with the help of a veteran con, Virgil Kane. Well, thank you, Virgil. God, he is paroled, a changed man, no longer trusting the system, and he vows to set the record straight and settle the score with a sleazy detective who lies put an innocent man behind bars for 3 years. Oh no, that whole thing just gave me... I'm stressed. Also, Tom Selleck. So, if you want to look at Tom Selleck's mustache for supposed 2 hours, there you go. Yeah, I'm stressed. But it's a Tom Selleck movie, so it's probably great. But anyway, stress. Next movie, Touchstone, Gross Anatomy. First-year med student Joe approaches the usual dreaded gross anatomy class. The systematic dissection of the human body, which is amazing if you get into it. Not dissecting, but like the cross sections and like learning all the things. Amazing. Your body is like a wild, crazy place, just so you know. Osmosis Jones tried to teach us that. Some of us paid attention and some of us didn't. But he meets his match in Dr. Rachel Woodruff, the uncompromising instructor who recognizes Joel's natural gift for medicine under his outspoken rebelliousness and begins a touch campaign to discover whether... a tough campaign to discover whether her class clown really has what it takes to become a doctor. The test of wills ultimately becomes a touching and revealing experience for both student and teacher. So he was like, I'm going to really joke my way through this. And she was like, nah, fam. And then they end up really enjoying each other's time. Sounds great. A movie I've seen a lot. The Little Mermaid. Now this literally it gives me no description. None. So we know Ariel is smitten with Eric, who is a prince. She want to get his attention and she need them leggies to do it. So she sells her voice to the sea witch Ursula and gets legs. But she can't talk because she doesn't have a voice anymore. Then Ursula also turns herself into a human and tries to woo the prince away from Ariel, because if Ariel doesn't get the prince, then she becomes a worm that might be used for lip gloss. And then Ariel's father comes and helps save the day. And then Ariel and Eric live happily ever after, and Ursula gets impaled by the ship. and all is well. Except for Ursula. Did I do it justice? Let me know. Great movie. I'm sure you've all seen it, but if you haven't, what are you doing? Go watch that. Next movie, Touchstone, rated R. It's called Blaze. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's the last movie. It's the last movie. So while I didn't keep it under an hour, I kept it close, I feel. I'm trying my best. Blaze. Set against the colorful backdrop of a 1959 to 1960 Louisiana, the scandalous liaison between Governor Earl K. Long and stripper Blaze Starr, what a name, raised more than a few eyebrows. The governor's extramarital affair with the flamboyant red-headed left Louisiana in the state of shock and rocked to the very foundation of the Southern political machine. Ooh, we love a scandal. Not necessarily the movie for me, but I'm sure it was a great movie. Or is a great movie. So, that's it. We made it. I tried my best to keep it short, sweet, and simple. There were movies in here that I had to let you know that I loved, and some actors that I needed, and actresses that I needed to give a little sprinkle of extra attention to. Because, you know, Tom Selleck's mustache will always go down in history. Bette Midler, I mean, hello. Winifred Sanderson. I can't, you know, what? Bette Midler. Jim Varney. Come on. I personally, like I said, have a soft spot for Jim Varney. So, with that being said, what was Disney's top grossing film from 1980 to 1989? Oh yeah, The Little Mermaid. There were so many films that I thought that could have been, and I don't know. Little Mermaid. Cartoons coming in clutch. You know what I mean? Friends, it has been wonderful. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. I am doing a different kind of series. So if you want to follow that one, it's related back to my Disneyland trip, but it's not direct Disney content. So if you want, I'll like stick it up here somewhere in the corner. I'll link it here. 1990 to 1999 will be next week. I'm going to try to plow through that quickly, but I make zero promises, especially when we start getting into the realm of a bunch of movies I do know. You think I'm bad now, just wait. Like and subscribe, follow for more content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you have the best day ever. Bye, guys.